Good morning, seedlings, and happy Thursday. I'm so glad that we are able to do circle with each other this morning. I've missed you. I hope everybody had a good night's sleep and you feel well rested and you got some breakfast or some lunch in your systems and now you're ready to start the day. Okay, let's begin, shall we? Good morning to you. How do you do? I'm happy to see you. Good morning to you. And Maverick wanted to say good morning too, apparently, because here he goes. Okay, he wants to be a part of circle too. Thank you for visiting. Okay. So good morning and happy Thursday. It's almost Friday. Tomorrow is Friday, but today is a beautiful day. I see the sun is shining today. There's blue clouds. There's a little bit of a breeze. I can see some of the leaves moving in some of the trees, but it is a great day. And we're hoping that it stays dry and because we've had a lot of rain. Which is good because our plants and the trees and the animals, they depend on that rain and they need that. But hopefully it stays dry just for a little bit. Okay, so I put our friends in our wish you well board so we can wish our seedling friends well and we can be able to think of them throughout our day and send them some love. So let's put our hands, Let's put our hands over our hearts and let's begin. We wish you well. We wish you well. All through the day today, we wish you well. We hope you come back soon. We hope you come back soon. All through the day today, we hope you come back soon. Good work. Okay, so yesterday, we talked about all the different items that I found at the beach, and I found some more, but we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Instead, today, I thought we would talk about what our lesson plans are talking about, and that is sea turtles. And sea turtles are something that we definitely have here in Florida. They're very prevalent. They love the warm waters that we have here. We're kind of what's called in the tropics. So that means obviously it's very hot here. It doesn't snow here in Florida. And it gets really warm. And so does our water at the beach and stuff. And they love that water. So we have a lot of sea turtles here. And I thought that we could talk about two major ones. One, that is a species that does live in Florida. We see them a lot. That's called the loggerhead sea turtle. And another sea turtle I want to talk about is the leatherback sea turtle. And you'll see why we are adding them in today's circle too. They're one of my favorites too. So I'm going to do our shared, oopsies. Wrong one. Okay, so we're gonna start with the leatherback sea turtle. The leatherback sea turtle is the largest of the 7 species of sea turtle. They are very, very big. They can be 6 feet long, which is about as long or as tall as your dad. If your dad is really tall, then he would be as tall and long as a leatherback sea turtle. So you'll have to ask Dad if he's 6 feet. They also can weigh 900 to 1,000 pounds, and that's a lot of weight. That's heavier than any human and a lot of animals that we've learned about. So they're pretty large. As you can see, they're called leatherback, they look like leather. Their skin is thick. They have these different grooves sticking out of their shells. They're all pretty much one color, the black with white spots. This one in particular is coming up probably to nest. Sea turtles stay in the water unless they have to come up to nest. They are very good swimmers because they have these, let's see, they have these and these, which are flippers, and they help them glide and push through the water. But when they come on land, it's a struggle. they really have a hard time moving smoothly on land. They can do it, but it is a lot of work, and especially when you're as heavy as a leatherback sea turtle, it's a lot of work, and you would be out of breath by the time you climbed all the way up on the beach. Once she gets up there, then she has to use her front flippers and dig a very big hole so she can lay her eggs. So this is why when you see a sea turtle up on the beach, that you want to give them space. You don't want to go near them or touch them, because it's a really important thing for them that they're doing, laying their eggs, and we don't want to disturb them. It's just like when you're doing a lesson at work, school, and you don't want anybody to touch your work or be in your space. Sea turtles feel the same way when they're laying their eggs. So another, now we're going to talk about the, if I could find it. Oops. Kenzie's all sorts of, well, I thought I had it. It seemed to have disappeared. So we can look it up. You can be here with me while I look at it. I don't know where I went. Sometimes Miss Mackenzie's internet and YouTube has been quite interesting, to say the least. So I apologize. Kind of like how we had problems with my phone at school. So this is a really close-up view of a loggerhead sea turtle. And we have these kinds of sea turtles on our beaches. And as you can see, they're much more lighter in color than the leatherback. They're still big. They don't get 900 pounds though. They get about 500 at their largest. And females are often bigger than males because they do carry the eggs. As you can see, even there's some little barnacles and some mossy like growth on her shell. It's because they live under the sea for so long, they start to gain some sea life on top of their shell. It's almost like a little ecosystem. So they have a different kind of shell. They don't have the ridges in their back like the leatherback sea turtle. They just kind of have a flat, smoother surface. It's kind of the same color though as their skin. They have the browns, the kind of yellow in there too. Again, this one's on the beach. So this would be a female trying to make her nest. And so, let's see, we can find one in the water. So this one, if I can zoom it in. So you can see that's what they look like in the water. And this one as well has a bunch of moss and green covering their shell, which is again normal. It's the warm water helps too. Many things grow easier in warm water. So as you can see underwater, they kind of look like they have more spots with their head and their flipper markings. But these are very common sea turtles that we find in Florida. And as you can see underneath his or her body is some coral reef. And so that's a lot of the times where they can be found. The coral reef is something that protects them. They can hide from predators there. They can rest after they've swam for a long time. and take a rest and nap and be recharged. So I also want to talk to you about this. Now, since we can kind of go to the beach, our beaches are starting to open up and everything, you are going to probably be able to see something, not quite like this, but something pretty similar to this. This is what a sea turtle nest is going to look like. We have lovely people that help protect our sea turtles, and the nests, and they put these sticks and this sign that says Sea Turtle Nest over it so people don't step on it, people don't dig it up, and just leave them be, because the sea turtle eggs need quite a bit of time to incubate in the sand and grow into a hatchling before that they can hatch. So if you see one of these kind of sticks or markings on the beach, we want to make sure that we don't touch that and we give it space so that we can give the baby sea turtles a chance to hatch and then venture out into the water. Okay, speaking of baby sea turtles, this is a diagram of the life cycle of a sea turtle. So they're gonna start out, the adult comes, she then goes and lays on the beach and digs a hole to lay her eggs. Once the eggs are laid, it will take about 40 to 60 days. So that's about 2 months, let's call it. So 2 months. So it could be, if they lay them in March, it would be March and then April that they would be in their nests. So once they hatch, and it could be up to 200 eggs. It's a lot of eggs. They don't just lay 4. They lay many, many, many eggs, 100 to 200. So that's quite a bit. And they hatch, and they are a hatchling. And from that point on, they have to dig out of the nest, break out of their shell, and go and make their way to the ocean. And they have to do that pretty quick because they're very vulnerable. They have no way to protect themselves, and they're pretty safe in the ocean. But getting there is a struggle sometimes because they are little and there are things that want to try and eat them. So they have to hurry, and the cycle starts over again. When these turtles grow up and they become an adult, then they go back to the beach and lay their eggs. So it's pretty cool, the life cycle, and they're really important for us to have in our oceans and our ecosystems, and we want to make sure that we look out for them and protect them. Okay, since we're learning about sea turtles, I thought that we could do one of our turtle songs. Okay? There was a tiny turtle, and he lived in a box. He swam in the pond, and he climbed up the rocks. He snapped at a flea. He snapped at a minnow. He snapped at a shrimp. He snapped at me. He caught the flea. He caught the minnow. He caught the shrimp. But he didn't catch me. That's a good one. That was about a turtle that lives in a pond rather than in the ocean. Okay, so I think for today, let's do some stretching and breathing kind of all in one. I want to do our breathing arms. So that means you've got to have some space next to you so that you can make sure you have good breathing arms when you go up. So everybody, you can sit or you can stand if you want to do this, but we want to make sure that we stand up tall with straight backs, and so we can take in a nice deep breath when we're ready. So, ready? Deep breath in. Good. Okay, together with me now. Ready? Yay. And I think we're gonna stretch our arms up again without taking a deep breath and just stretch to the right. Come back up and stretch to the left. And come back up and give our arms a good circle so we can warm up our shoulders. And then do our neck. So we're ready for any activity that we're gonna have today. Okay. I feel calmer already. All right, ready? Now we did peace begins with me yesterday, but now let's do our mantra, okay? I am happy, I am good. I am happy, I am good. Satanam, Satanam, Satanam Ji. Waheguru, Waheguru, Waheguru Ji. Okay, sing it with me. I am happy, I am good. I am happy, I am good. Satanam, Satanam, Satanam Ji. Waheguru, Waheguru, Waheguru Ji. We did it! You are ready to start your day, and I'm so glad I got to see you for Thursday Circle, and we will meet each other here again tomorrow for Friday. Okay? Goodbye, so long, farewell, my friends. Goodbye, so long, farewell. We'll see you soon again, my friends. So goodbye, so long, farewell. Goodbye, seething friends. I hope you have a great Thursday, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow for Friday Circle. Bye.